So let's say you've voted by mail. What's to keep you from voting in person too? And if you do vote in person, how are poll workers and voters going to interact with you given the pandemic?
We've got a lot of questions for our next guest, Sue Larson, the leader of the state's Registrars of Voters. What have registrars done to make sure that polling places are safe during a global pandemic?
Well, the registrars of voters have been doing a lot of research and making sure that we're up on anything that is being sent out by the CDC as far as putting polling locations together. We've worked with the Secretary of the State's office, and they have provided us with a lot of PPE, and depending on the local government, some additional PPE. The state has given us face masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, all the basics that we all need in all of the polling locations and absentee ballot counting. Some of the local governments have been helping us with getting plexiglass shields between the poll workers and the voters that are coming into the polling locations.
So people should feel pretty comfortable that there are a lot of safeguards being taken if they do go in person, it sounds like.
Oh, definitely. We've got the social distancing, we've got the PPEs, we've got extra masks to offer to a voter that comes in without a mask. So yes, we've got it covered. Disposable pens so that when you go to fill out your ballot, it's not that usual marker that we have attached to the privacy booths.
Right.
We're cleaning after voters or using disposable items to make sure that the voter is safe and feels secure to go to the polls.
So let me ask the question I posed earlier. If somebody has already voted by absentee, by mail-in, what's to keep them from going in on Tuesday morning and voting again?
Well, we're working with the town clerks to make sure that every absentee ballot is recorded on our official voter list. We call them the red A's. So when a voter comes into the polling place, if we see the red A next to their name, it means they've already done an absentee ballot. Now, the voter does have the right to remove their absentee ballot it would be 5 o'clock on Friday, October 30th. So that deadline has already passed, but they had that option to do that. So on election day, when they go in, their ballot has already been received as an absentee ballot.
And when does the counting of the ballots begin?
The next kind of question. The next part of this is if someone goes to the polls, but they've already put an absentee ballot in the ballot box on election day. What will happen is after the polls close, we'll take the official voter lists and compare the names of the person that went and voted in person to see if there's an absentee ballot that we need to withdraw. So we will double check to make sure that one vote, one person.
So there are a lot of safeguards. But when will you start counting all those thousands of absentee ballots and putting them through the vote counting machine?
Okay, the term counting can mean different things to different people. So that Friday deadline allows the registrars to open the outer envelopes. They're going to be able to start that process to hurry up or to make it a quicker process when it comes to election day. So that's where they're doing the counting, so to speak, to make sure that they've got all the ballots. But the actual recording of their votes won't start until 6 a.m. on election day.
Okay.
And so, given that the towns will be starting at 6 a.m. on election day, do you expect we'll have the traditional results by 8 o'clock or at 8 o'clock on election night?
No, because of the process I just talked about, where you want to ensure that a person didn't get the double vote by dropping a absentee ballot in the ballot box on election day and going to the polls. So all of those votes will be counted the next day.
Mrs. Larson, do you feel you all are ready for same-day registration for those who choose to do that?
It's going to be a little difficult this year, being that a lot of town halls are closed to the public. And are you okay?
Yep.
Oh, all right. It'll be difficult this year with a lot of the town halls being closed to the
Right.
public. So I guess most of what we've been trying to say to people that are going to use EDR, be patient, because remember, it's not like going to the polls. You have to do the process of registering and you have to do the process of filling out your ballot. So it's a lot longer process. And if we have a lot of people coming to a very small area, it's just going to be a longer process to go through.
Sue Larson, head of the Registrar of Voters, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. You guys have had a lot on your plate this year, to say the least, and best of luck on Election Day.
Thank you very much.
The Democrats hold a commanding majority in Connecticut's State House. No one's predicting a change in control, but can the GOP make enough gains to increase its leverage at the Capitol?
Hearst, Connecticut's Ken Dixon joins us right after this.